What's up, everyone? Nitro here. I just got back from the movies from seeing the brand new Steven Spielberg movie, Disclosure Day 2026. Unique movie. I guess that's the best way I could put it. Yeah, so this is a movie about aliens. The most movie about aliens that barely has any alien in the movie. And I don't really want to go too much into spoilers, but like, yeah, you... I feel like as much alien was in this movie was basically all of the marketing. Like, the marketing sold basically majority of the alien footage from this movie. Which, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Especially for a movie that's 2 hours and 25 minutes, like 2.5 hours about aliens, and there's barely an alien figure in the movie. I don't know if that was because of budget constraints. I would imagine not, because it's a Steven Spielberg movie. You would imagine any Hollywood studio that had Spielberg as a director, they'd be like, well, hey, you can get as much money as you want because he's Steven flipping Spielberg. But maybe it's because of the cast and who was scoring the movie. Maybe that's why there was barely any aliens, because the cast and the music score producer, charged more. That's my only guess, because if you don't know, John Williams is the one scoring the music, which John Williams and Steven Spielberg, they're famous duo. They literally go keys in a pod together. John Williams and Spielberg, they did Jurassic Park. By the way, if you didn't know, Spielberg did Shrek, the first Shrek. Okay, I had no clue. But yeah, obviously, Jurassic Park, you had E.T., tons of memorable movies, from over the years that Spielberg has done. I don't need to go down Spielberg's discography, because he's literally Steven flipping Spielberg. Besides the point. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's the casting. Maybe it's the music producer, aka John Williams. Maybe that's why there was barely any alien footage. Maybe the budget couldn't account for the CGI of the aliens. I don't know. Besides the point, the cast, star-studded cast. You got Emily Blunt playing one of the main characters, Margaret Fairchild. She's a reporter for a Kansas City news station. Probably the most unique and interesting character, and kind of strange character throughout this movie. As you go through the movie, Emily Blunt's character just knows everyone, and you find out reasons why later on, and you kind of piece together the reasons why. I'm like, okay, this makes sense. So like, you piece together why Emily Blunt is so smart in this movie. She does a phenomenal job. This is definitely a standout role for Emily Blunt. She did good in both Devil Wears Prada movies. That's the only movie I've seen Emily Blunt is the first and the second Devil Wears Prada. Besides the point, yeah, I think Emily Blunt's character is a really good character, and you could make the argument that this is kind of like a character piece movie. So, as a character piece movie, if you solely focus on Emily Blunt, which they do that for a majority of the movie, it's a good character piece. Now, I wouldn't say it's all about Emily Blunt, because, you have Wyatt Russell, who, if you don't recognize Wyatt Russell, you're definitely going to recognize him as U.S. Agent from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So yeah, U.S. Agent in this movie, which is kind of fitting, since this is a movie about a secret military company working on aliens, also working on AI. This enemy military company in this movie works both on AI and aliens, and they use AI and technology against humans for alien research and yada yada yada. You get the point. Big evil government military group, private sector, so stuff like that. But yeah, it's kind of fitting the character that the actor who plays the U.S. agent character from the MCU is in a movie about evil government agents. That checks out. You also have Colman Domingo, did a phenomenal job in Michael earlier this year as Joe Jackson. I feel like this is just the year of Colman Domingo, because this man's cooking. He cooked in Michael, and he also cooked in this movie. So props for Colman Domingo. Good job. That's a shocker in my opinion. He's a really good actor. By the way, he has really good range. Even though once you hear Coleman Domingo's voice, you kind of just okay, that's Coleman Domingo. But yeah, even though he's recognizable, he's still a really good actor. But yeah, he plays Hugo, which is basically like the good scientist, the good guy in this movie. Ironically, it's funny seeing him playing a villain in Michael, but now he's playing a good guy. I love that contrast, very unique contrast. And both these movies came out in the same year, which is ironically kind of funny. You got Colin Firth playing Noah. He works for the evil military group. He's the main bad guy there. You got Eva Hewson, who plays Jane. She's another reporter at the same news station that Margaret, aka Emily Blunt's character, works at. If you're also, this took me completely by surprise, and this happens like literally in the very first part of the movie. If you're a wrestling fan, you're gonna love this. Lance Archer and Brian Cage from AEW / Ring of Honor, mostly from AEW. They're in there. They do a match. And the referee is Chavo Guerrero. WCW / WWF / WWE. That's crazy. I mean, it's okay. I did not see Chavo, Lance, or Brian Cage. I did not see wrestlers being in this movie, but congratulations. I'm glad to see that Chavo Guerrero is doing good and still getting roles in the prime year of 2026. Man's cooking. Which is crazy. But yeah, that was random. Very random. I did not expect a wrestling match in this movie. Very nice opener of the movie. And I will say, I think the opener and the final act of this movie, in my opinion, is probably the best of this movie. I don't know. It's just, when it comes to this movie, it's, I would say slow burn, but it's fast paced in some segments because majority it's about people chasing other people. This dude stole stuff from a group and that group wants the stuff back, basically. So it's a giant chase movie for like the entire 2.5 hours. And it has, some action scenes every now and then. That's cool, but minus the action scenes, it's a very slow burn, kind of boring movie. You do kind of end up questioning yourself, like, oh, what's going on here? What's going on in this movie? Like, why is this happening? What is this? Why is it slow? You might doze off a little bit, but to each their own. You might or might not doze off. But yeah, I mean, star-studded cast, kind of boring movie. I will say slight kind of spoiler, and I did mention this at the beginning of the movie, but again, the alien doesn't show up to like the last 20 minutes of the movie, and that was literally shown in trailers, and not only trailers, but like promotional material and promotional gifts of the movie. The alien parts were shown in the promotional material of the movie, and that's literally all the alien stuff you get. And yet again, a movie about extraterrestrials and aliens and all that good stuff. Also, it's fitting that Spielberg is making another alien movie because E.T. and stuff like that. So that's, I mean, it's fitting. That's pretty cool. But yeah, I don't know. Definitely kind of hit or miss. I don't know. Like at parts there's action, at other parts there's a very slow burn. John Williams, he kills it on the score when the score is there. I mean, it's John Williams, the man made Star Wars music. But yeah, I don't know, just slow burn of the movie. I think the opening part, which a lot of people say the opening part kind of just felt like the opening of a second act. I never really got that, I guess. It kind of feels like a second act, but I don't know. I don't know where you would fit a random wrestling match into a second act of an alien movie. But besides the point, I don't know. Hit or miss, kind of boring. I would definitely recommend a rate for streaming for this movie. Definitely rate for streaming. if you're one of those, movie aficionados, you're like, it's a Spielberg movie, I gotta see it in theaters. I mean, it's your money. Go ahead, spend it how you want to. If you want to see a Spielberg movie about aliens or somewhat about aliens in the movie theater, go ahead. I'm not telling you how to spend your money, but I'm just saying, I personally, if I didn't get these movies for free, I would personally rate for a streaming service release or a digital, or at least a digital release. But yeah, that's just my thoughts about Disclosure Day. There wasn't really much disclosing about anything. But besides the pun. Yeah, Disclosure Day. Rate for streaming. Have a good one.